Today I'm making one of my very favorite summer desserts, lemon icebox cake. Now, if you are unfamiliar with icebox cakes, first off, it's no big dessert, perfect for summer. You don't have to turn your oven on at all. Basically, it is cookies, crackers, like graham crackers, like a crisp sort of biscuit layered between layers of sweetened whipped cream or pudding or sweetened condensed milk. You assemble everything and then you refrigerate it for several hours. I typically like to go overnight. The crackers or the cookies soften and it forms sort of a cake without having to even bake anything. It's really wonderful, a very refreshing dessert, I think. I have a lot more to say about icebox cakes. You know, I could probably talk about them for hours. I always associate them with like a very retro style dessert. So even though I'm not using a cookbook today, it goes with the theme of my channel. And if you are new here, I'm Anna. I love trying vintage recipes. Typically they are from my cookbook collection. Today we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. But I post videos about my vintage cookbooks and recipes every Sunday at 5, so if that's something that you're into, please stick around. Okay, we gotta get going. We have several things that we have to complete before we can even try the icebox cake. First off, I need to make some whipped cream. So I have half a cup of heavy cream in here, just in a metal bowl. I'm gonna use my Breville Handy Mix favorite mixer with my wire whisks attached. This makes it go very fast. Okay, so that was about 30 seconds of mixing and I'm already at soft peaks. Let me get some powdered sugar and some vanilla. You don't actually have to sweeten this if you don't want to. I like to lightly sweeten it, so I have a tablespoon of just powdered sugar and I'm just gonna do a little drop of vanilla in there. Not too much. I usually don't measure it though. And now I'm going to beat this the rest of the way until we have stiff peaks and whipped cream. All right, that was just 30 more seconds. And it's whipped cream. We have whipped cream. This mixer has a timer on the top. That's how I know how long it's taking me to do these things. So this is all ready to go. I'm going to pop it in the fridge and we're gonna get ready to mix up our pudding mixture. Okay, for this next bit, you're gonna need 1 package of instant lemon pudding. Get the instant kind, not the cook and serve. This is a 3.4 ounce package. Something that keeps happening at my Meijer store that really grinds my gears. When the pudding is being stocked, someone keeps placing cook and serve pudding in like the lemon flavor in both spots. So they'll put, they'll fully stock the lemon cook and serve, and then in the spot where the instant is supposed to be, they'll fill it with lemon cook and serve again. So keep an eye on your puddings because you want to make sure you get the right one. I don't know if a person is actually doing that. Like, I'm sure that maybe they just don't know the difference. So I usually have to pull all those cook and serve ones out to see if they have any instant lemon pudding in the back. Oh my gosh. All right, so you can pour your pudding mix into a bowl. And this next part, very important, you want 1.5 cups of milk. Don't follow the package instructions. You want it to be a little thicker, so use 1.5 cups. I like to use whole milk for this, but use what you want. And you want to mix that together until it's nice and thick. I'm gonna use my hand mixer again, since it's out anyway. All right, making good progress. I just stopped to scrape the bowl. This next little part is kind of optional. I like to do it because I like to add extra lemon flavor. You can add maybe like half a teaspoon of lemon extract to this. Just earlier this year, I found this pure lemon paste. This is a little bit different than lemon extract. Let me get you in there so you can see it better. This is sweetened. So it's got a nice lemon flavor to it. This is the same company that makes the vanilla paste as well. So I've enjoyed using this for certain desserts just lately. I found this at World Market, so I'm sure, it's available somewhere close to you. You could probably order it online as well. I'm gonna use, again, I'm not really measuring. I'm gonna use like almost a teaspoon of this. I just really like to have more lemon flavor if I can. I'm gonna go ahead and mix this the rest of the way until it's nice and thick. I think we're there. This is nice and thick, kind of jiggly. Now I need to fold the whipped cream that I just made into this mixture. I have my lovely whipped cream here and we're gonna marry these two things. I'm gonna fold this into this. Ooh. Can do this pretty gently. And if it's a little streaky, like you don't have to fully incorporate until it's a uniform color. If there's like little streaks of white, that's fine. People are gonna eat it and they're gonna be delighted. This is a great dish to bring to a celebration in the summer. It's just, like I said, nice and light and kind of refreshing because of the lemon. You don't have to bake anything. There we are. I'm gonna grab my graham crackers and my baking dish. So you can use like a metal cake pan, or I'm using a Pyrex baking dish because of course I am. And my offset spatula. Graham crackers, this is gonna be like our cake layers, I guess you could say. As for the amount, if I'm starting from like a brand new box of graham crackers, usually ends up being somewhere around like half the box. So I don't have like the exact the exact number of ounces for you, but that's kind of where I'm at. You actually want to make sure you get pretty good coverage too. You know, you're not going to do like a graham cracker here and there. You're going to make like solid layers of graham crackers. And you might have to break these to fit them in the pan too. And that's okay. They get all covered up by this delicious mixture anyway. Let's start with one layer of graham crackers. These are fitting really nicely actually. So you can see I have like a little bit of overlap back here, but really we're getting good coverage. I'm gonna take half of this pudding and whipped cream mixture and spread it over the top of these graham crackers. I kind of want to eat this with a spoon because it looks so good and it smells so good. My goodness. You can see I kind of disturbed that first layer. We'll just move it back to where it needs to go. Spread this nice and even. Nice and even. First layers are done. Now we're going for another layer of graham crackers. I think I'm gonna break one of these sheets and just kind of fill in. This pan like tapers upward a little bit, so there's a little more of a gap on this side, as you can see. So I'm gonna kind of like break some graham crackers and fill that in. Let's see, I think if I just do these little skinny rectangles, that should do it. Fill it in, press it down lightly. Now we have to do the rest of the pudding mixture here. Spread that out. I cannot wait to eat this, but I'm gonna have to wait to eat this. When you are making an icebox cake, it absolutely needs time in the fridge. I go at least 6 hours for this one. For this video, I'm just gonna let it sit in the fridge overnight, so I am gonna have to wait until tomorrow to taste it. I know it tastes really good though. You can also make a lower sugar version of this if you wanna go with like a sugar-free pudding and use like unsweetened whipped cream or sugar-free Cool Whip. You can kind of customize it a little bit. So we gotta go more graham crackers. Will I have enough? Probably. I have a second box if I need to crack into those, but I think we're gonna be just fine here. So this layer is not gonna be left bare. You're not gonna see the top of it. I'm gonna make an icing to go on top of this, and it's just gonna be great. That's fine. Yeah, I have like 3 sheets of grahams left. So I started with half a box and I have like a few left. So your mileage may vary, but that's where I ended up. Now I have to make some delicious tart and sweet lemon icing. Okay, before I even start assembling my icing, I'm gonna zest this lemon. The zest is gonna give it a really good flavor. Don't forget to thoroughly wash lemons and limes before you zest them, or your citrus fruit. If you're gonna zest it, wash it, of course. I'm gonna use my little Flexi Zesty because if you've been around, you've seen me use this before, but you just kind of run it over and I'll show you what happens. There's a little nook in there, see, that collects all that wonderful zest. Just a handy little gadget. This one, my mom found this for me, I believe at Marshall's, so keep an eye out, they're out there. I collected the zest that I need, and now I need about 1 to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'm gonna cut this in half and use my tiny juicer. I have, you know, other kinds of like lemon juicers. This is another little gadget that my mom got for me. You get gadgets when you like to cook. People often spy something that they think you'd like, and a lot of times it ends up being pretty great if they give it to you. So about half of this is just over a tablespoon. I'll save the other half for something else. In this bowl, I have half a cup of softened butter, and I have around 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. I would say between 3/4 and 1 cup is what you're gonna need. You're gonna use a very thin layer of icing. And the lemon juice and the lemon zest just give it this like very puckery, zingy kind of flavor that is a nice contrast to the very light and sweet kind of pudding layer. I'm gonna break this up with my mixer just a little bit. I also have a tablespoon of milk. I forgot about that, just to kind of like thin the icing out if it's a little too stiff. I'm gonna start adding my powdered sugar here. Not too fast. I like to add it a little bit at a time just so there's not a big cloud when I start mixing it into the butter. And you can add some of your milk here just to get it to come together. Okay, I'm gonna scrape and add my zest. Mix that in. A lot of mix in here. I like to give this all like a very good mix for a couple of minutes at least, so you don't have any like grittiness or anything from the powdered sugar. Plus it makes the icing nice and fluffy. I am gonna slowly drizzle in this lemon juice with the mixer on. So the reason that I drizzle the lemon juice in slowly while I am running the mixer, I find that if you do it that way, it helps sort of like prevent a curdled texture to the icing. If you just like dump everything in all at once and mix it, like including the lemon juice, sometimes you can get kind of a weird texture to the icing. When I do it, and this is just something I do, you know, if that you don't like that or you want to just dump everything and try it, that's fine. It might work just fine for you. But for me, just taking a little extra time to do it that way and then really, really mix it very well makes for a nicely, you know, fluffy textured icing. Try to drop it sort of in different spots on top of the cake because this is going to be a pretty thin layer. So it's kind of easier to get coverage if you do it this way. And use a spatula to get every last drop out of there. This is where your offset spatula really shines. And this is why it doesn't really matter. If you've had to break a few pieces to get them in there, you're not even gonna see them. It's gonna be just fine. It's gonna look beautiful and it's definitely gonna taste delicious. Just cover up those broken bits. I also find that the lemon zest kind of like helps disguise them too, because you're seeing little specks in the icing. So, you know, if you can't quite cover the broken parts, like if they stick out, it's fine. I mean, it's fine either way. This is not life or death, folks. This is just a fun time. It's not that serious. That didn't take long at all. Let's have a look. All right, there it is. So I just need to cover this and I'm gonna let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. If you're in a very big hurry, 4 to 6 hours. I mean, 6 hours is minimum for me, but overnight is best. Well, it's the next day. And before I give my lemon icebox cake a taste, I know how it tastes. It's gonna be very good. I just thought I would give you some more fun facts and information about icebox cakes in general. As I said before, this is a no-bake dessert, so makes it the perfect thing for the warmer months, especially if you're like taking something to a party. I think icebox cakes are typically pretty well received. They're cool, they're refreshing. A lot of times they feel a little bit lighter, you know, than a typical baked good. They were introduced in the United States around the 1920s as a way to promote ice boxes as a kitchen appliance. My great-grandfather was actually an iceman, so he would deliver ice to people's homes for their ice boxes. There are lots of different types of icebox cakes. That's kind of hard to say. I've noticed icebox cakes. There are a lot of different varieties of icebox cakes in other countries and other cultures. In Mexico, they have Carlota de Limon, or it's like a lime Maria cake. Emmy did a great video on this a few years back. I'll be sure to link that in the description below. That's sweetened condensed milk and lime juice mixed together, and then you layer it with Maria biscuits. If you've seen the biscuits, a lot of times they're in like a roll shape. I've seen the ones with like an orange label or a gold label. They're actually very delicious on their own too. They have mango float in the Philippines. That's a type of icebox cake that's layered with fresh fruit. There's the chocolate ripple cake in Australia. Another popular one here in the United States is the chocolate eclair cake. I've actually had a few requests that I make that, so maybe I'll add that to my lineup in the future. But I think part of the reason they're so popular is they're just very easy to make. They're very convenient. They taste really good and they're kind of impressive. It's almost like you can't believe that something so delicious came from just a few simple steps. You can go much fancier with your icebox cakes if you want to, but you can do something as simple as taking like graham crackers and whipped cream, or chocolate wafers and whipped cream, and layering those together. By the way, Nabisco did discontinue their famous chocolate wafers a few years back. There was quite the uproar because a lot of people like to use those in these types of desserts. So hey, bring those back, Nabisco. In the United States, icebox cakes kind of reached their peak popularity in the 50s and 60s. I think they continue to be one of my favorite things to make during the summer. Well, I'm so excited about this dessert. I'm ready to go give it a try. I'm ready for this. Are you ready for this? Okay, let's look at it real close. There it is. You can see it. The little bits of lemon zest in there. Looks great. Looks exactly the way I want it to look. I usually cut an icebox cake this size into 9 pieces, and it's just like a nice, you know, a nice amount. I'm gonna make some marks here. I'm not even getting the ruler out. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Oh, it's cutting beautifully. Yes, okay. Definitely gonna have to share this with my neighbors because I don't think we can, I mean, if I really tried hard enough, we could probably eat all of it. They're generously sized pieces, but this is a pretty light and fluffy dessert. All right, the first piece is always, it's always a question mark. So like what it's gonna look like. Not perfect, but I don't care. It did come out, it actually did come out pretty nicely. There's just a few little spots here. I'm getting all of it. It's all happening. Let's see, I'm gonna cut that so maybe you can see the layers just a little bit better. Just ignore this part. I'm directing your attention to this. You can see the layers of the grahams and the lemon pudding. It's so good. So cool and creamy. The lemon pudding layers with the whipped cream, a very light but sweet, fluffy lemon flavor. Then you get to that icing. It's a very thin layer of icing, but it does serve a really good purpose of giving you that like shock of sort of like a very tart lemon flavor. So it's got, you know, the powdered sugar and everything of course makes it sweet, but it's like that pure lemon juice flavor is in there with the lemon zest, and you get that like sweet tart snap. I think this would be great, like even without the icing, but I think the icing just kind of like makes it, right? It balances out the sweetness and everything with just a little bit of a sharp tart pop. So if you're looking for something to take to a party this summer, maybe a 4th of July gathering of some kind, this is a really great option. I'm just saying. I think your guests would enjoy it. Tell me about your favorite summer dessert. I'd love to hear about it, so please leave me a comment. I'd like to say a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to join us over there, I'll have a link in the description so that you can do that. Don't forget to look out for each other and take care of each other. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.